Hello everyone, welcome to prepguruu, the online platform for CUET preparation, right? Today I am going to discuss a very important topic which is known as figure of speech, or you can say literary terms, right? Uh, in your school days also, you might be getting these kind of questions in the form of identifying literary devices, mostly in poetry sections, right? They select a phrase or a stanza of poetry and they ask you a question regarding that. Which literary device has been used in the following group of words or phrase or any word, right? So in that context, in school days, I think you were learning the figure of speech in a haphazard manner. Means sometimes you study simile and sometimes you study oxymoron. There is no base, or you can say there is no concept. You were learning, some students were learning the literary devices chapter wise. Means in this chapter, how many literary devices have been used? They are learning alliteration, oxymoron, simile, metaphor, all these things. But now at competitive level, your concept should be clear so that you can identify the correct literary device which has been used in the paragraph or passage. Now the course is not fixed. In school days, the poetry was fixed and each and everybody was learning the same literary devices, learning the same lines, learning the same para, learning the same stanza. But now, what is it? Paragraph can come from any area. So you have to be prepared with the concepts, or you can say your strong concept will help you to identify the correct literary device. Now, suppose if I talk about English, English is dealing with two kind of speeches. One is what? Suppose if I say the first one is what? The first one is, wait a minute. No, the first one is parts of speech, and the second one is what? Figure of speech, right? Parts of speech and figure of speech. Now, parts of speech deals in which kind of thing? It deals in your grammar portion, and grammar portion tells you how to write the sentence correctly in terms of what? In terms of sentence structure. Suppose if I talk about the structure of the sentence, so there should be a subject kind of thing, or verb or object. These structures means it says or it tells you how to write the sentence correct in the correct form in terms of these structures. Now figure of speech don't deal, or you can say it doesn't deal in grammar portion. It doesn't bother about the grammar portion. It tells what? It expresses feelings of the author, right? Now in terms of expressing feelings, the author decorates his writings through various literary terms. He takes the help of some literary devices which has been used in his poetry, prose, drama, or any kind of literary writing, right? Now we will study this thing, right? So I'm going to tell you the figure of speech or literary devices on the basis of certain terms or certain bases. Certain bases would be there. Now base is very important. Why? Because you will not be confused after learning this pattern of literary device. This is very important, right? Now after this, you will be able to identify the literary devices correctly in any format, right? ठीक है, तो बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ना, keep attention, right? And if you are unable to understand anything, immediately write your question in the chat box, right? But be clear on this part, right? Now let's begin. Am I audible to all of you folks on Zoom? Folks on Zoom, am I audible? Say yes or no in the chat box. Okay. Now let's begin. The first base, see, this is the definition. Let's see. In word or phrases used in a non-literal sense so that the speech writing becomes more persuasive, vivid, and relatable, right? Now, the figure of speech is departure from the ordinary form of expressions or the ordinary course of ideas in order to produce a greater effect. This is what the definition of figure of speech, and we don't have to take care of definition kind of thing in competitive level, right? ये एकदम समझ लीजिए. We don't have to write definitions, right? Just take the key elements. Figure of speech means what? I have to pick the literary devices. So if I know how to pick the literary devices correctly, then there is no need to learn the definitions, right? It will not come in your examination. Now, let's see the first base. The first base is what? The first base is comparison. Now, if I tell you the comparison part, now listen to me very carefully. First of all, let's understand the first base, why I made this base comparison, right? Now, if I talk about the basis comparison, now comparison kitne tarah ka hota hai? How many types are there in comparison head? Two types, right? One is what? We compare in a similar sense, with similar things, with similar persons, right? The second comparison format is what? Dissimilar. Dissimilar means what? When we are comparing unlike things, means if I'm comparing a person with a flower, right? Suppose if I say a beautiful child was compared to a flower, I'm comparing child with flower. This is dissimilar comparison. And if I say he is better than his friend, I'm comparing one human with another human, right? This is similar comparison. Now what? एक तो सबसे पहले आपकी एक नॉलेज मैं ये चेक करता हूं कि इन केस ऑफ सिमिलर कंपैरिजन विच प्रीपोजिशन हैज बीन यूज्ड. कौन सा प्रीपोजिशन यूज होता है? सपोज मैंने कहा कि सी द सेंटेंस, compare the characteristics of Aurangzeb dash that of Akbar dash that of Akbar. Now what could be the preposition here? Compare the characteristics of Aurangzeb dash that of Akbar. Can you tell me the preposition which can be used here in this filler? Which preposition can be used here? Tell me. Okay, Gauri is saying with. Okay. With can be used. Okay, any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer apart from with? Okay, with is the final answer. See, it is correct answer. You will use what? With. But if I say this is what, this is the similar case of comparison. Suppose if I say Aurangzeb is a human being and Akbar is also a human being. So in case of similar comparison, we use preposition with the verb compare, right? Compare plus with. ये कहीं पर नोट कर लेना. It is also important. Fillers में आ सकता है. And dissimilar comparison. In dissimilar comparison, what we use? Suppose if I say a beautiful child was compared dash a flower. Was compared dash a flower. Now what? It is 2. Very good, Gauri. 2. In case of dissimilar comparisons, means flower and child. Child is human being and flower is not human being. So in case of dissimilar comparison, we use what? 2. In case of similar comparison, we use what? With. ये तो preposition की बात हो गई. Now, if I talk about this one, the literary device, base मैंने comparison दिया है, and यहाँ पर कौन सा comparison show होगा? Here you will see this category of comparison, dissimilar comparison. You will not see similar comparison. Figure of speech में similar comparison नहीं होगा, right? There will be dissimilar comparison और literary devices उसी accordingly या उसी according design की गई हैं, right? So are you getting dissimilar comparison? What is the meaning of dissimilar comparison? Human का किसी plant से, किसी rose से, किसी animal से comparison कर दिया, right? ठीक है, तो this is what? This is the base. ठीक है, now let's begin. Now, if you see the first literary device under the head, or you can say under the base comparison, the first is what? Simile. The first is what? Simile. So simile is what it is used in which context? We compare two unlike things. Unlike things means what? Dissimilar comparison. अब आप एक चीज सोचो, मैं किसी चाइल्ड का फ्लावर से कंपैरिजन कर ही क्यों रहा हूं? मींस अगर वो डिसिमिलर है, इफ इट इज डिसिमिलर, then why am I comparing those things which are dissimilar? मैं similar things को करना चाहिए था ना मुझे logically, but the thing is I am comparing a child with flower. Why? मैं dissimilar things से भी कंपैरिजन करूं तो मुझे कुछ सिमिलैरिटी तो दोनों में दिखी होगी, right? That is required. Suppose if a child is compared to a flower, तो softness similarity भी रही होगी, right? Are you getting? Now, so see this. A simile is a comparison between two unlike things using the words like or as. ठीक है, मैं बोलता हूं, write down जो मैं बोल रहा हूं, ठीक है, इतना लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Write down. When two dissimilar things are compared, when two dissimilar things are compared to show some similar traits, then with the help of what? With the help of like or as. With the help of like or as. With the help of like or as. When you are using the word like or as in your comparison part, then it would be what? Simile. But see the definition. When two dissimilar things are compared to show some similar traits, to show some similarity, then it would be what? It would be case of simile. See the example. As slippery as an eel. Now what? Slippery is a surface. It can be surface. Eel is a kind of fish. So it is what? It is the case of what? Simile. We have used what? The word as. Suppose if I say the sentence like this: he fought like a lion in the war. He fought like a lion in the war. तो मैंने he का जो कि human being है comparison किया lion which is animal, right? So these are what? These are dissimilar. But why am I comparing these two dissimilar things? Because I have seen some sort of similarity between these two. What is the similarity? The brevity part, the braveness, right? The brevity part is same, right? He was brave like lion, right? So it is a case of what? Simile. I am using what? The word like. Clear? Simile clear hai? ठीक है? So you have to see that like or as is there or not. If like or as is not in the given set of sentences, phrases or stanza, then it would not be the simile case, right? Now the next one under the same base. अभी base same है. Base comparison में first क्या था आपका? Simile. The second would be what? Metaphor. Write down metaphor. Metaphor, right? In metaphor, write down a single line, that is metaphor is, it is a direct comparison. It is a direct comparison without like or as. Means you will not get like or as word here. There is a direct comparison in this case. Direct comparison means what? See, the camel is the ship of the desert. मैंने camel को directly ship से associate कर दिया, right? Connect कर दिया. This is the definition or this is the meaning of metaphor, right? इसी को अगर simile की तरह represent करना होता, तो then what would be the sentence? The camel is like the ship of the desert. Like should be there, right? ठीक है, यहाँ पर directly connect कर देना. Life is a dream. Life को सीधे किससे attach कर दिया? Dream से. So this is metaphor, right? So are you getting the difference? What is the difference between simile and metaphor? In simile, we will use like or as to show some similar traits in different things, in dissimilar things. And in case of metaphor, we will do the comparison between dissimilar things. But the thing is what? Here you will not get like or as, right? Now the next thing is under the same head. अभी हमने two पढ़े under the same head. Simile and metaphor. The third one is what? personification. The third one is personification. Now what personification means? When non-humans are represented as what? Are represented as or represented with human traits. ठीक है, नॉन ह्यूमंस में सब आ जाएंगे, एनिमल आ जाएंगे, कोई क्रिएचर आ जाएगा, कोई थिंग भी आ जाएगी, ठीक है, नेचुरल एलिमेंट्स आ जाएंगे लाइक सन, मून, स्टार, ठीक है. तो व्हेन नॉन ह्यूमंस आर रिप्रेजेंटेड एज व्हाट? ह्यूमंस, then it is the case of what? Personification. See the example. Laughter is holding her both sides. No, laughter is not a person, but I am attaching human traits. Holding means hold कौन करता है? Humans. So it is what? I am giving the human trait to laughter word. So it is what? It is the case of personification. The flowers nodded. Nodded means झुक जाना. Flowers action किसका बता रहा हूं मैं? Flowers के लिए humans का, right? So it is the case of what? Personification. The snowflakes dance. Now, तो स्कूल डेज में तो आपने पर्सोनिफिकेशन भी पढ़ा होगा, बट द थिंग इज एट द क्लैट और एट द सीयूईटी लेवल और एनी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम लेवल, you have to study certain literary devices which are of the main literary device. Suppose if I talk about personification, right? There are two subparts or two subheadings of personification. Personification के subparts क्या हैं? Write down. The first one is pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy. The other one is what? Apostrophe. Apostrophe. Apostrophe and pathetic fallacy. These are the two subparts of what? Wait a minute. सर इसमें स्क्रीनशॉट नहीं ले सकते? ओके, स्क्रीनशॉट नहीं ले सकते. If your device is allowing, then take a screenshot. But what I would suggest you, try to note the things. It helps a lot. If you take a snap or a screenshot of anything, it is just only a soft memory. And if you see, if you are writing, you are putting it in a hard format, right? Hardware is better than software. Always remember. If you are taking the snaps of all important things, when you will see your gallery will be full. There will be what? Not enough space to store more things. But those are what? Software, soft versions, right? So if you are in a hurry, or you can say time is less, then only you can take a screenshot. Otherwise, try to note down the things. Why? When you are writing something while learning, so while writing कुछ questions mind में आते हैं, and after that you can what? You can ask questions also, and it takes a what? It takes a memory part. Means memory takes what kind of things? When you write, read and see the things, right? It is repeated 3 times. Writing, while looking and while learning, right? Now, so if I talk about personification के 2 subheads क्या हो जाएंगे? Pathetic fallacy और apostrophe. Now try to understand तीनों में difference क्या है. Suppose the broad head is what? Personification. I am giving human traits to non-human. ठीक है, तो वो इसमें भी चलेगा, इसमें भी चलेगा. But the thing is, difference is, in case of apostrophe, we show what? We show human emotions through non-humans. Human emotions nahi. We will try to communicate or address with non-humans. In case of what? Apostrophe. And in case of pathetic fallacy, we show what? Human emotions. In case of pathetic fallacy, we use what? Human emotions. So emotions part are represented by pathetic fallacy. Communication part is represented by what? Apostrophe. And in that context, personification is what? Showing the action. Let's have a look. Holding is an action. Nodded is an action, danced is an action. So in case of action it is personification. In case of communication it is what? Apostrophe. Communication means what? जैसे मैंने ऐसे सेंटेंस बोला, ओ सन, ओ मून, आई एम ट्राइंग टू एड्रेस और कम्युनिकेट विथ व्हाट? मून, सन. जैसे मैंने कहा, ओ मून प्लीज शाइन more bright or brighter than her. Now what? It is apostrophe. I am communicating with non-humans. Pathetic fallacy. Suppose if I say clouds are crying. Clouds are crying. The angry sea. If we put emotions in our sentence through non-humans, okay, then it would be the case of what? Pathetic fallacy. When we are going to show what? Communication of a thing with non-humans, then it is the case of what? Case of what? Apostrophe, right? Let's see the examples. ये नोट कर लिया आपने? No. Let's see. Apostrophe. Apostrophe is what? It is communication. See this example. Have a look at the example. Oh holy night, the stars are brightly shining. The stars are brightly shining. Oh holy night. This is what? This is addressing to what? Night. He is trying to communicate with night, right? Now, Milton, you should not be leaving at this hour. Friend, I know not which way must I look. Roll on. These are what? So some students take the clue of apostrophe, oh sorry, exclamatory mark. Exclamatory mark is what? It is the clue for what? Apostrophe. But it is not required, or it is not always possible that you will get this exclamatory mark in each and every sentence. It might be possible that the sentence is of apostrophe and exclamatory mark is not there. So see the main thing. Main thing is what? When you are communicating with with non-humans, oh holy night, oh sun, oh mean, okay, death, where is thy sting, oh grave. This is what? This is the method of apostrophe. Now what? The next thing is pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy, I told you, it shows what? Emotions. It shows what? Emotions. तो मैंने बोला जैसे कि the angry sea, इसमें example लिख सकते हो, the angry sea. Let me see thing. Now I can see. Sir, Hindi language use करा करो please. Okay, okay. हिंदी भी यूज करें. Okay. तो हर्षित, अभी तक समझ में आया? In short, I can tell you that okay, if I talk about the figure of speech or literary devices, right? We are studying the literary devices through bases. तो base मैंने अगर यूज किया तो first base is what? Comparison. Comparison किसमें हम लोग कर रहे हैं? We are representing the comparison in the form of what? Dissimilar things. Dissimilar things के comparison में first हमने क्या पढ़ा? Simile. And simile is which kind of literary device? When we show comparison between two dissimilar things using like or as. Metaphor is what? Direct comparison. Direct comparison means मैंने कहा life is a dream, सीधे life को मैंने जोड़ दिया. The camel is the ship of the desert, right? मैंने camel को सीधे ship बना दिया, right? This is what? Metaphor. Now the third thing is what? Personification. Personification is what? When we are giving human traits to non-humans. Non-humans को मैं अगर human traits दूंगा तो it is what? It is personification. अब personification के भी two parts हैं, right? Which are the two parts? One is pathetic fallacy and other is what? Apostrophe. ठीक है, ये मैं समझा रहा था. तो apostrophe कैसे पहचानोगे? How will you identify the apostrophe thing? Apostrophe can be identified through what? Communication. When we communicate, जब मैं नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स से बातें करने लगूंगा, एड्रेस करूंगा उसको, कम्युनिकेट करूंगा, जैसे मैंने सन से बात करना शुरू कर दिया, मून से बात करना शुरू कर दिया, then it is what? It is a form of apostrophe. ठीक है? Pathetic fallacy when we show what? Human emotions through non living things. जैसे मैंने बोला suppose if I say the clouds, write down the example, the clouds are crying. The clouds are crying. Now what? Clouds are crying means what? Clouds are crying means I am showing emotion of what? Non-human. Clouds का emotion use कर रहा हूं. Basically it is raining, but मेरा कहने का जो expression है वो दूसरा है, right? ठीक है? Rain. Yes, Gauri. Is it clear now, Harshit? Is this language is clear to you? Okay. ठीक है. ठीक है, तो अच्छा किया तुमने बता दिया. ठीक है. Now, if I say the next thing, तो अभी हम लोगों ने फर्स्ट बेस ओवर किया है. फर्स्ट बेस इज व्हाट? ये तो पर्सोनिफिकेशन डिफरेंस तो क्लियर है ना आप लोगों का? फर्स्ट बेस में कितने हम लोग लिटरेरी वर्ब्स पढ़े? बेसिकली 3. सिमिली, मेटाफर एंड पर्सोनिफिकेशन. पर्सोनिफिकेशन के भी 2 सब हेड्स हैं. क्या है? एपोस्ट्रोफी एंड पैथेटिक फेलेसी. अब समझो ध्यान से. सपोज इफ यू आर गेटिंग अ फ्रेज द क्लाउड्स आर क्राइंग, ठीक, एंड यू आर गेटिंग ऑप्शन मेटाफर, सिमिली, पर्सोनिफिकेशन एंड ऑक्सीमोरॉन, देन यू हैव टू गो विथ व्हाट? पर्सोनिफिकेशन ओनली. पर्सोनिफिकेशन के साथ चले जाना. ये मत देखना कि सर इसमें तो पैथेटिक फेलेसी दिया ही नहीं है. नो, गो विद द मेजर हेड अगर गिवन है. बट इफ यू आर गेटिंग द ऑप्शंस ऑफ means option A is personification, option B is apostrophe, option C is pathetic fallacy, then in that case you will go with what? Option C. समझ में आया कैसे करना है? क्योंकि कभी कभी होता है कि they will go with the broader sense. जैसे आपके स्कूल डेज में केवल personification आता था, आपने pathetic fallacy नहीं देखा होगा, but at CUET लेवल आ सकता है, राइट? ठीक है, तो you have to study some more literary devices, ठीक है, connected to it. Now the second base is what? Based on association. पहला बेस हमने पढ़ा क्या? Comparison. The second base is what? Association. The second base is figure of speech or literary devices based on what? Association. Association, do you know what is the meaning of association? Association किसको बोलते हैं? Can you tell me in your language? Association किसको बोलते हैं? Yes. Association is association is, in your own words, what do you mean by association? To relate two things together or forming a group. Okay. If I say association means what? If one thing is attached to the another thing, right? मैं दोनों को attach करने की कोशिश करूं. Now, if you see under this head, the first literary device under this head is what? Second base. Write down the second base in your copy. Association. Association में क्या होगा? First would be what? Metonymy. It would be what? Metonymy. Metonymy is which kind of figure of speech? See, इसको सिंपली में लिखना. ये बहुत टिपिकल लैंग्वेज है, ये सब नहीं. मैंने कहा था ना, डेफिनेशन पे पीछे बहुत मत भागिएगा. You just have to pick the keywords through which you can identify the right literary device. ठीक है. Now, तो इसमें मैं आपको अपनी डेफिनेशन बताऊं तो it is what? If one thing is substituted with another thing. लिख लो इसको. If one thing is substituted with another thing. लिखा? If one thing is substituted with another thing. ठीक है. जैसे मान लो मैंने बोला, ध्यान से देखो, एग्जाम्पल पर फोकस करना. You will get to know what is metonymy. I enjoy reading Shakespeare. इसमें क्या लिखा हुआ है? I enjoy reading Shakespeare. Shakespeare is a name of person. ठीक है. Shakespeare is a name of person. Now, if you see Shakespeare, Shakespeare is a name of person. Now, मैंने कहा I enjoy reading Shakespeare. मुझे Shakespeare को read करना पसंद है. So Shakespeare is a person. How can I read him? But try to understand the sense. मैंने Shakespeare बोला और मेरा जो context था वो क्या था? I enjoy reading his plays. I enjoy reading plays of Shakespeare. लेकिन plays मैंने बोला नहीं. ये क्या था? It was the substitution. Means Shakespeare was the substitution for what? His plays. अब देखिए, do you know USP? Unique selling proposition. कुछ चीजें अपने एक बेसिक क्वालिटी की वजह से फेमस हो जाती हैं. Suppose if you remember the Nokia mobile was what its USP was battery backup. सबसे अच्छा बैटरी बैकअप किसका होता था? नोकिया का होता था, ठीक है। तो यूएसपी, एंड सम पीपल से व्हाट, when they go to buy certain thing, suppose उन्हें डिटर्जेंट भी खरीदना है तो they will say एरियल दे दीजिए, यही तो कहते हैं। तो एरियल मीन्स व्हाट, अगर एरियल का लिटरल मीनिंग लोगे तो स्पिरिट से भी कनेक्टेड हो जाता है, राइट? बट इट डजंट मीन डिटर्जेंट पाउडर, बट वो रिटेलर समझ जाता है कि ये डिटर्जेंट पाउडर ही मांग रहे हैं। तो व्हाट इज इट? इट इज अ केस ऑफ व्हाट, मेटोनमी। गिव मी एरियल, डालडा दे दीजिए, तो इट इज अ ब्रांड, बट यू आर सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग दैट ब्रांड विथ द बेसिक थिंग। तो मैंने क्या बोला, आई एंजॉय रीडिंग शेक्सपियर, व्हाट डज इट मीन? हिज प्लेस। अ मिनिस्टर ऑफ द क्राउन, अ मिनिस्टर ऑफ द क्राउन मीन्स व्हाट, द किंग और क्वीन। जैसे मैंने आपने कभी न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा है तो उसमें ये पढ़ा है घड़ी पहले इस्तेमाल करो फिर विश्वास करो। यस, इफ आई से घड़ी, तो घड़ी, लिटरल मीनिंग ऑफ घड़ी इज वॉच, बट the retailer will understand that you are demanding what, yes, पहले इस्तेमाल करो विश्वास करो, that kind of thing. But the thing is, the king or queen, ये किससे डिनोट हुआ? the minister of crown। जैसे कि आपने पढ़ा होगा ट्यूटोरियल्स में कि व्हाइट हाउस अनाउंस्ड। अब व्हाइट हाउस हाउस है, वो कैसे अनाउंस कर सकता है? बट इट इज सब्स्टिट्यूशन, इट इज सब्स्टिट्यूशन। तो इट इज व्हाट, इट इज द केस ऑफ मेटोनमी, ठीक है। अभी मैं फिर मेटोनमी पे आऊंगा, ध्यान से समझना, ठीक है। नाउ synecdoche, the second literary device under the same base means association is what? synecdoche। synecdoche means what? ये लिख लो, ये इसकी डेफिनेशन अच्छी है। occurs when a part is represented, when a part is represented by the whole, or the whole is represented by the part, means when you are using what, a small part of the whole thing, of the large thing, right? Then it is the case of what? synecdoche, ठीक है। See the example, जैसे मैंने बोला wheels means, suppose the sentence is like this, I have purchased a new pair of wheels, I have purchased a new pair of wheels, ठीक है। तो इसका लिटरल मीनिंग क्या होगा? जैसे मैंने सिर्फ व्हील्स वर्ड यूज किया अपने सेंटेंस में, तो क्या मैंने व्हील्स कर दें, पहिए कर दें? नो। इससे डेराइव क्या हो रहा है कि आई हैव परचेज्ड अ कार, तो व्हील्स आर यूज्ड फॉर व्हाट? टू डिनोट कार। तो मैंने बहुत स्मॉल पार्ट अपने सेंटेंस में यूज किया है टू डिनोट व्हाट? टू डिनोट द होल थिंग, द बिग थिंग, राइट? तो इट इज नोन एज व्हाट? synecdoche, ठीक है। जैसे मान लो मैंने बोला कि प्लास्टिक, तो आई हैव सो मेनी प्लास्टिक कार्ड्स, व्हाट डज इट मीन? credit card, debit card, like this, right? hired hands, suppose मैंने कहा I have hired a new hand for my help, तो क्या मैंने एक hand hire किया है? No, I have hired the whole person for my help, for my assistance। बट मेरे कहने का लैंग्वेज देखिए थोड़ा चेंज है, I am displaying only a small portion of it, right, to get the sense of the whole thing, ठीक है। अब जो क्वेश्चन मैं पूछने वाला हूं, that is, what is the difference between metonymy and synecdoche? हम दोनों में एसोसिएशन कर रहे हैं, एसोसिएट कर रहे हैं, सब्स्टिट्यूट कर रहे हैं। What is the difference? What is the difference? Anybody who can tell? What is the difference? दोनों के बीच डिफरेंस क्या है? What is the difference? Anyone in the chat box? What is the difference between metonymy and synecdoche? इसको एक बार हिंदी में भी बता दो प्लीज। हिंदी में बताया तो, हिंदी में synecdoche is that kind of association। synecdoche ऐसा एसोसिएशन होता है जिसमें हम एक छोटे पार्ट से बड़े पार्ट को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। मींस मैंने कहा आई हैव परचेज्ड अ न्यू पेयर ऑफ व्हील्स, तो व्हील्स मींस क्या होता है? सपोज ध्यान से देखना हर्षित, इफ आई से सपोज दिस इज अ कार, ठीक है, माय आर्ट इज नॉट गुड बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, दिस इज कार, ठीक है, दिस इज कार, मैं लिख दे रहा हूं, ठीक है। नाउ इफ यू सी दिस इज द कार, तो दीज आर व्हाट? दीज आर व्हील्स, ठीक है। मैंने अगर बोला कि आई हैव परचेज अ न्यू पेयर ऑफ व्हील्स, तो मैंने व्हील्स को ही अपने सेंटेंस में रिप्रेजेंट किया। व्हील्स पूरी कार के कंपैरिजन में बहुत छोटे हैं ना, स्मॉल पार्ट है, ठीक है। बट दिस स्मॉल पार्ट इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग द होल कार। इसका सेंस दे रहा है कि मैंने कार खरीदी, राइट? तो इट इज व्हाट, ठीक है, तो इट इज व्हाट, इट इज डिनोटिंग अ कार। तो जब आप किसी स्मॉल पोर्शन को लार्ज पोर्शन डिनोट करने के लिए यूज करते हैं अपने सेंटेंस में, तो इट इज व्हाट, इट इज सिनेक्टिकी। एंड मेटोनिमी इज व्हाट, व्हेन यू सब्स्टिट्यूट वन थिंग विथ अनदर। तो डिफरेंस मैं पूछ रहा था। यस गौरी, मेटोनिमी इज व्हेन क्लोजली रिलेटेड थिंग्स आर सब्स्टिट्यूटेड, बट इन सिनेक्टिकी इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ original thing that was supposed to be named. Yes, very good Gauri, very good answer. In the former we are substituting and the latter means representation. Yes, very good. See, दोनों में डिफरेंस यही है, मैं आपको समझाता हूं थोड़ा सिंपल वे में। in metonymy things are different, things are not same. जैसे मैंने बोला शेक्सपियर, I like to read शेक्सपियर, तो शेक्सपियर is what, it is a person, बट उसकी राइटिंग्स जो उसका ड्रामा है वो अलग हो गया ना, वो बुक हो गई। तो पर्सन एंड बुक आर नॉट सेम, ठीक है? तो इन केस ऑफ मेटोनिमी थिंग्स आर नॉट सेम। बट सिनेक्टिकी में क्या है, मैंने बोला आई हैव हायर्ड अ हैंड, तो क्या होगा, सपोज मैंने हैंड बोला, तो सपोज दिस इज अ पर्सन, ठीक है? एंड मैंने सेंटेंस बोला आई हैव हायर्ड अ न्यू हैंड फॉर माई हेल्प, तो मैं सिर्फ उसके हैंड की बात कर रहा हूं, बट ये इसी का तो पार्ट है। थिंग्स चेंज नहीं है ना इसमें, थिंग्स आर सेम, थिंग्स आर बेसिकली सेम, थिंग्स आर दैट ओनली, बट आई एम यूजिंग अ स्मॉल पोर्शन। उसमें मैं दूसरे ही नेम को यूज कर दे रहा था मेटोनिमी में, राइट? जैसे कार है तो व्हील केवल क्या है, उसी का पार्ट है, तो थिंग्स आर नॉट डिफरेंट हियर। तो अपनी कॉपी में एक डिफरेंस ये लिख लेना, इन केस ऑफ मेटोनिमी थिंग्स आर नॉट सेम, इन केस ऑफ सिनेक्टिकी थिंग्स आर सेम। इज इट क्लियर? डिफरेंस क्लियर है? बिकॉज डिफरेंस मस्ट बी क्लियर इन योर माइंड, क्योंकि अगर कहीं पर सिनेक्टिकी आया तो मेटोनिमी भी दूसरे ऑप्शन में होगा, दैट इज फॉर श्योर। दे विल ट्राई टू कंफ्यूज यू, बट डोंट बी कंफ्यूज्ड। इन केस ऑफ मेटोनिमी थिंग्स आर व्हाट, थिंग्स आर different, but in case of synecdoche things are same. Is it clear now? Now let's see the next one. See, can you tell some exercise अभी तक जो पढ़ा है आपने? Suppose if I say, अभी तक जो literary device पढ़ी है उसी में से आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है। Suppose if I say the first one, his hands were wine shoots. His hands were wine shoot. What is it? कौन सी लिटरेरी डिवाइस है? अभी तक जितनी मैंने पढ़ाई है आपको, मींस द फर्स्ट बेस सिमिली मेटाफर से शुरू करना। इट इज मेटाफर। यस, वेरी गुड। मैंने सीधे सीधे उसके हैंड्स को क्या बोल दिया? वाइन शूट्स। वाइन शूट्स क्या होते हैं? आपके जो ट्री होता है उसकी जो स्टेम होती है, स्टेम्स में जो शूट्स निकले रहते हैं, ठीक है, थिन थिन शूट्स, ठीक है, उसको बोल रहे हैं। तो उसके हैंड को डायरेक्ट वाइन शूट्स बोल दिया। दिस इज व्हाट, मेटाफर। वेरी गुड। सेकंड वन, ही टुक टू द बॉटल आफ्टर हिज वाइफ्स डेथ। ही टुक टू द बॉटल, ही टुक टू द बॉटल आफ्टर हिज वाइफ्स डेथ, मतलब आप कॉन्टेक्स्ट तो समझ ही रहे होंगे कि ही स्टार्टेड ड्रिंकिंग अ लॉट। मेटोनिमी, टुक टू द बॉटल आफ्टर हिज डेथ। He took to the bottle. Took to the bottle. Yes, yes, it is a case of metonymy. Why? Because bottle is referring to his what? Alcoholic drinks and his drunkenness. ठीक है. The next thing is what? There was not a soul in the street. There was not a soul in the street. It is what? Third one. There was not a soul in the street. It is an example of not a soul. सोल से ही कुछ है, सोल इन द स्ट्रीट। दिस इज व्हाट? नो, इट इज नॉट एपोस्ट्रोफी। नो नो नो, इट इज नॉट एपोस्ट्रोफी। इट इज व्हाट? मेटाफर। some are saying metaphor and some are saying what? Metonymy. बताओ। इट इज नॉट मेटाफर। मेटाफर कैसे होगा? मेटाफर तभी हो सकता है व्हेन यू सी एनी काइंड ऑफ कंपैरिजन। जैसे किसी चीज को सोल बोल दिया होता, ठीक है, वो है। जैसे मैंने बोला लाइफ इज अ ड्रीम, तो लाइफ को ड्रीम बोल दिया ना, डायरेक्ट कंपैरिजन, तो वो तो है ही नहीं यहाँ पर। तो मेटाफर कैन नॉट बी द आंसर। metonymy, yes, there was not a soul in the street. It could be metonymy, right? No, she is a siren, she is a siren. अब यहां आप कह सकते हो कि this is what, this is direct comparison, this is metaphor. She is a siren, that is no man can resist her charms. She is a siren, life is a dream. सीधे सीधा जो आप किसी एक चीज को दूसरे से सीधे कंपेयर कर दो तो it is what, it is metaphor, right? Yes, very good. Number 5, the dinner costs us 20 pounds per head. Per head means what? मेरे कहने का मतलब क्या है? I am representing in the sentence only head, but मुझे बताओ डिनर खाओगे तो जाएगा कहां? In stomach. So the whole body is represented by this head. ठीक है, तो क्या होगा? This is the case of what? Scenic ducky. Scenic ducky. Scenic ducky. पर हेड बोल दिया ना मैं, जैसे मैंने बोला था I have hired a hand. ठीक है, तो this is what? This is the example of scenic ducky. Now, would you like a scotch? Would you like a scotch? Question number 6. No, खुशविंदर. Like देखते ही सिमिली नहीं करना है. When like is used to show comparison, then only it is the case of simile. यहां पर comparison शो हो रहा है. यहाँ तो सिर्फ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है कि क्या तुम्हें स्कॉच चाहिए? स्कॉच, would you like a scotch? So it is what? It is metonymy. Yes, very good. Not simile. खुशविंदर समझ में आया? Not simile. जैसे simile का मतलब समझो, जैसे मैंने बोला कि he fought like a lion in the war, तो लायन के जैसे लड़ा. यहां पर कंपैरिजन चल ही नहीं रहा है, राइट? तो सिर्फ लाइक वर्ड देख के मत लगाना, ठीक है? नाउ ही इज अफ्रेड ऑफ द इविल वन. ही इज अफ्रेड ऑफ द इविल वन. नाउ व्हाट? इविल वन, evil one. He is afraid of the evil one is what? Evil is another word, metonymy. Now the music of her laugh. The music of her laugh is an example of what? The music of her laugh. Metaphor. Yes, very good. He is a wet blanket. Again metaphor. Again metaphor. I am directly saying him or directly comparing him with wet blanket. He was a man of cloth. A man of cloth is again a case of what? Metaphor. So these are the examples of what? Metaphor. Now, let's see the more literary devices. Now the base is what? Now the base is sound. ठीक है, sound. Now sound का मतलब समझना कि sound किसको बोल रहे हैं? Means if you see, have you heard about the pronunciation? तो pronunciation में जो first sound create होता है ना from your mouth, उस sound की बात कर रहे हैं, right? ठीक है, उसी के हम pick करेंगे as vowel, consonant, all those things. ठीक है, तो based on sound अपने आप third base लिखो, that is sound. Based on sound, what are the literary devices? The first one is what? Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means what? Sounds with the names, means name of particular sound. लिख सकते हो name of particular sounds. ठीक है, whoosh, splash, buzz, click, oink. ठीक है, these are the what? Name of sounds created by any other creature, animals, living or non-living things. Suppose one student was saying कि सर ये sounds के name कैसे आते हैं, kindly describe. तो मैंने बोला सर splash क्या होता है? Splash is when you put anything into a water, तो splash sound आता है, right? And buzz is created by bees, मधुमक्खी, right? Click, oink, जैसे click आपका leaf के साथ भी हो सकता है. Oink is produced by pigs. ठीक है, तो उसने कहा सर नो, splash सर कुछ भी आप वाटर में डालेंगे तो splash की आवाज नहीं आती है, छपाक की आवाज आती है. तो don't take it like this, ki chhapak and splash. See, in Hindi, the names of sounds are different. In English, the name of sounds are different. So we have to go with the English one, right? Splash, buzz, click, and you don't have to take tension of these words. Why? ये given होंगे वहां पर, मतलब वो naming होगी ना जो sound की, वो given होगी in your question. ठीक है, तो you just have to remember this one. Onomatopoeia is what? name of sounds produced by anything. Clear? Name of sounds, ये लिख लेना, name of sounds, onomatopoeia. Now the next one is alliteration. Alliteration is what? ये school days में भी बहुत famous था alliteration. When you see the repetition, just focus it. When you see the repetition of the beginning sounds of neighboring words, repetition of beginning sound, and it could be what? It could be consonant. It could be consonant, right? Now, consonant is what? Apart from vowel sounds, all sounds are known as what? Consonant. So what are vowel sounds? Vowel sounds are like what? Created by A, E, I, O, U, right? So those sounds, apart from those sounds, all others are what? In the category of consonants. So if the beginning part, okay, if the beginning consonant sound, क्या लिखोगे आप लोग? You can write it like this: repetition of beginning consonant sounds. Beginning consonant sounds. Repetition of beginning consonant sounds is known as what? Alliteration. See the example. Sounds, जैसे मैंने बोला not naughty. Not naughty का जो letter है means so many students take what? The first alphabet. If the first alphabet is consonant and it is repeated in the sentence, then they go with alliteration. हाँ, कई बार उनकी help करता है ये और marks भी मिलते हैं. But the thing is, here the case is different. See this: not naughty. Here K is here and N is here, but sound is same. No, 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 no. Right? So it is what? Alliterative. यहाँ पर देखो letter alphabet is same. In the second example, cigarette chase, but sound is different. C is not same sound, right? So it is not alliterative. ठीक? But in most of the cases, students किस element को pick करते हैं वो देखिए. They see what? Apart from A, E, I, O, U. अगर मुझे कोई भी letter दिखता है, they go with what? Alliteration. See this: S is repeated. Seashells. Walter wondered where Winnie was. So these are what? W is repeated. Blue baby bonnets bobbed through the bay. Right? B is repeated. Nick needed new notebooks. N is repeated. Fred fried frogs on Friday. This is what? This is alliteration. तो हाँ, कई बार आप इससे लेटर्स से कॉन्सोनेंट लेटर्स कॉन्सोनेंट अल्फाबेट से भी पिक कर सकते हो alliteration, but the thing is, the main thing is sound देखना, it should be same and it should be of what? Of beginning consonant sound. ये जरूर ध्यान रखना, beginning consonant. If beginning consonant sound is repeated, then it is the case of what? Alliteration. अगर middle का consonant sound repeat होगा तो उसको consonance बोलते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं? Consonance, not alliteration. Alliteration के लिए beginning part का repeat होना जरूरी है, right? Now, the next thing is assonance. Assonance is what? Repetition of vowel sounds. Repetition of vowel sounds, right? Not necessarily at the beginning. Not necessarily at the beginning. वहां पर beginning important थी alliteration में, यहाँ पर beginning important नहीं है. Middle way में भी अगर आपको vowel sounds repeat हो रहे हैं, then it is the case of what? Assonance. See the example. Scene beat. Repeat क्या हो रहा है? E sound in the middle portion of the word. History mystery. E sound is repeated. That's why it is what? Assonance. And the basic thing is what? It should be rhyming. It should be rhyming. Rhyming जैसे poem में होता है ना, poem में, ठीक है? Sounds are same, rhyming. So it should be the case of what? Assonance, right? Assonance. Now, the next case is pun. Pun is also according to sound, ठीक है? इसी short definition बोल रहा हूं मैं, उसको लिखना. When we use homonyms or homophones, do you know homonyms or homophones? Means similar sounding words but meanings are different. ठीक है? Homonyms, homophones means double meaning words. When we use double meaning words or homonyms or homophones to create humor, right? When we use double meaning words to create humor, it is the case of pun. See this. जैसे मैंने बोला, सीधे example, a happy life depends on a liver. Which word is creating pun? Liver. इसकी टू मीनिंग होती है ना. एक क्या हो गया? Body organ, liver, right? Body organ, liver. And the other thing is what? That person who is living. So happy life depends on what? Liver. So liver is giving you what? Two meanings. जैसे मैंने बोला, have you heard this kind of thing? If you are bad, then I am your dad. So which word is creating pun? Dad. Dad is creating pun, right? Dad. एक डैड क्या हो गया? बॉस वाला, कि अगर आप बैड हो तो मैं आपका भी बॉस हूं. एंड द सेकेंड डैड इज व्हाट? फादर, राइट? पेरेंट्स वाला, राइट? सो अंडर द बेस साउंड्स कौन कौन से पढ़े? ओनोमेटोपिया, एलिटरेशन, असोनेंस एंड पन, राइट? ठीक है. नाउ इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल प्रोसीड ऑन विद द लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस. ठीक है, तो इन लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस को रिवाइंड कर लीजिएगा, रिवाइज कर लीजिएगा, एंड आई विल गिव यू some more literary devices on the second part of it, right? And then we will see the questions also. Okay, till then, thank you so much.